Hey there, film fans. I'm Jeff.
I'm Dave.
And I'm John, and welcome back to The Love of Cinema, a pod in which we'll challenge one another to discuss movies, both new and old, with a strictly positive critical eye.
That's right. And to avoid lazy negativity, we've decided to make this episode a drinking game. So anytime we say anything negative at all about this film, about each other, about how Dave might be a cabbage head, you're going to hear this sound.
That's a little close to home.
What? Play the sound. This sound means we're taking a drink. We hope you drink along with us.
So, boys over the glasses, we go back to a time when pool halls were so brightly lit, you needed sunglasses just to make a phone call.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So much fish, too.
Yeah.
That's right, friends. Welcome to the Love of Cinema podcast. If you're new to our show, thanks so much for joining us. This is our Anatomy of a Murder episode from 1959. That is going to be our featured conversation. We are going to set up the year in review of 1959 because the random year generator spun 1959. Give you a little context, but we have a couple mini reviews, including Project Hail Mary, which just finished its second weekend in the theaters. Still number one, of course, right around $300 million globally after its first 2 weeks, but it is doing well. It's crushing, and it seems like non-IP movies are back. It seems like we're going to make some more big budget, new original concept ideas. All you need is a super big movie star and very successful director and writer and a big studio behind you.
Yeah, I'm dark at the director at the moment because the director criticized the new Star Trek series, so I'm fucking dark.
That wasn't the director. No, Lord didn't criticize it. It was the author of the book. It was the author of Project Hail Mary who also wrote The Martian, right?
Fuck him.
Isn't that the one who did it? Yeah, you can go ahead. There you go. All right. Dave's drinking.
And you need to have the most intense, amazing promotion campaign I've seen in a while.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember them in the Olympics? Do you remember the Hail Mary introduction from commercial breaks for certain sports?
Yeah.
It was everywhere. I mean, that might be just what you need now. They told us to see this movie. It was very much James Cameron. You have to see this movie. It worked.
And
it worked.
And they got big format 2 weekends in a row. They got Dolby and IMAX at the theaters that I was looking at. So we're going to do that mini review very soon. But check the show notes
I can tell you the 70 mil that they were doing at Lincoln Center is like, I think on the weekend, a friend of mine checked the tickets. Not a ticket in the house. Even the wheelchair seats was sold.
Wheelchair seats, the 10 a.m.s. I saw it in proper IMAX. I didn't see it in the 70 millimeter IMAX. And I got my alert for the Odyssey, but I don't know if I'm going to get that 70 mil IMAX. I don't know. We'll see. I might just do like a 10 a.m. on a Monday and hope for the best. Anyway, so we're going to talk about that very soon. I saw 2 dancing movies. I saw Pretty Lethal and I saw She Dances. So I'm going to do them quickly as spoiler-free mini reviews as well. But again, if you just want to get to your Anatomy of a Murder content, our featured conversation, speaking about 1959, check the show notes and scoot ahead. You can scoot right past our mini reviews, especially if you're listening to this in the future and you don't care about
I feel like
came out of the box office.
I feel like Pretty Lethal is very accurate because I've worked for a couple of dance schools and it seems quite realistic. Yeah.
Fuck, I turned my buzzer off. Even though it's accurate. There are lines in that movie such as, because we're prima fucking ballerinas.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I think they just had fun with it.
Well, I'm going to tell you all about it very soon. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, before we set up our sponsors, we have to vote on what we thought about Anatomy of a Murder. And everybody who's watching us on YouTube we'll have a little logo next to our name the entire episode. So if we thought this movie was shit, it is going to have a little shit emoji next to us the entire episode. If we thought it was great, we're going to have a nice little green check mark or a gold star.
I did not do the shit emoji. There's no shit emoji.
No shit emoji. No. Well, we're going to go ahead and vote on what we thought of Anatomy of a Murder, but not get to that conversation until we're a little drunker than we are now. Guys, are you ready to vote on what you thought of Anatomy of a Murder? Okay. I'm going to do our little drum roll. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, John went with good, which is essentially 4 out of 6. Dave and I went with great. So no gold stars. John, a little lower than what I was expecting. A little lower.
I mean, I'm looking forward to you guys pulling me up.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it.
Right.
I'm excited to talk about it.
Is it because of the weird swipes and weird edits and the sound mix that went wrong in a couple spots? And it doesn't matter. We're not going to talk about it yet. We're going to wait. We're going to wait. Let's go ahead and shout our sponsors out. What do you say?
Carlos Barroso is our beer making sponsor. Carlos Barroso Beer. Sieberotzo.beer is the handle. You can go there. You can see him on Instagram talking about making, probably propping up other people making their beer as well.
Yeah.
So send us beer. Carlos Barozzo.
Did I miss my window to get those?
Talks about some bastards who keep stealing his beer. That's us.
There you go.
Yeah. Wait, did I miss my window to get those?
You may have. He texted you a while ago. So
fuck. I'm getting my car back this weekend. Oh, okay,
I miss getting just a pack of like 60 beers at once, and we would just have to put them in the fridge somehow.
Yeah, but John got in trouble because a new boss came in, and a new boss realized he wasn't cool because John was getting beers, and nobody would give that motherfucker any beers. So they were like, no beers for anybody if I don't get any. And so Carlos wasn't allowed to bring John beers anymore. He couldn't deliver them to our home.
Well, I forgot about that man until you said that. I forgot about that guy.
We had a bunch of them. I can't remember which one that was.
He forgot about him because he drank all the beers.
So we also have a music artist in residence. He makes all the music for this episode and every single episode, and his name is Dasein, Dasein. You can find the link to the music in the show notes, or you can just go to anywhere you listen to music and you will find their music there. Dasein, Dasein.
Yeah, just run up to people in the street, snap their headphones off, and see if they're listening to it.
Are you listening to Dasein?
Do not do that.
All right.
Talk about your dance movies first, and we'll just all go around the horn for Hail Mary at the end.
Fuck you for saying it like that.
No, it's fine.
But talk about your fucking dance movies first. Let's just fucking... Okay.
Movies you totally would have watched by yourself.
What? I'm engaged to a former commercial
No. I'm sure it was fun watching them with somebody who really knows that world. I would imagine, at least. They are familiar.
She is still very much a professional performer and a professional dancer. She used to work for professional ballet companies, like in the stock, getting salaried. Angela, I love you. Okay.
Yeah, she fucking knows. Yeah.
Way to fire the safety shot out.
I'm going to do She Dances first.
Dave, just cut that part out.
No, I'm leaving that in. I want to see him. I want to see him bleed.
She Dances first. So I actually went to a filmmaker introduction screening of this at AMC Times Square, Dave's favorite theater. Steve Zahn and the director of the film and his co-writer came, and they introduced the film. And then his daughter, I believe, and Mackenzie Ziegler, for our young people who listen to us out there, from Dance Moms fame, of course, they went to LA and they were doing introductions out there for this. So Steve Zahn, I don't know if you knew this, is a girl dad, and he is a dance dad. So he would go to dance competitions, and they live in Kentucky. And so I think the best part about this is it's a proper indie film. It stars him and his daughter. His daughter's amazing. You have Rosemarie DeWitt plays his wife, and there is some family trauma. So whenever they kind of throw, it's about family trauma, but it's really kind of an excuse to do dance competition, kind of filming, or story, I sometimes would hesitate, but it's just done so well. I just feel like it's such a lovely movie. It was very moving. The way Steve Zahn got his relationship with his daughter back after a divorce due to some family trauma that I won't get into too much, but they filmed at a real dance competition. They got everybody to sign their releases.
That's a great way to avoid the entry fee.
Yeah, and it's a great way to get people to show up to the movie. If you have to thank hundreds of people that are in there, but they said they got people rehearsing. They got Steve Zahn doing these long tracking shots through the hallways of dance competitions, and Angela was saying it's very true. This is real. This is how it would be. He's rushing a bag, and it turns out it's just snacks. He's trying to run around, try to find it. And they're like, did you need the bag? What is it? Snacks. It's fucking hilarious. And his daughter and Mackenzie Ziegler were amazing. It was charming. I really enjoyed it. It's an hour and a half, and they were so kind in their remarks. They were so thankful that we were supporting independent cinema. So go see independent film, and especially if you have nieces or cousins or something, especially if they're in the dance world, or even if they just love that kind of stuff. I think it's really sweet and charming. And
Where did you see this?
Support the indie film. AMC Times Square, and they had the filmmaker introduction. So yeah, Steve Zahn came, and he's been doing the junket because he has a name. Ethan Hawke is in it, and Steve Zahn and Ethan Hawke have some really nice scenes together. They play business partners. It was clearly a friend favor that they also knew there was a little bit of spark in there, so it was cool. So that's that.
Nice.
So this is fiction or documentary?
It's fiction, but it's certainly based on their experiences. But I don't think the family trauma is real. It's definitely a lot about that, but it's really great. There's some really good performances in there. It's really sweet. So the other film that I was going to say, the other dance movie, as John affectionately put it, is called Pretty Lethal. It dropped on Amazon Prime on Wednesday, and it stars the other Ziegler, Maddie Ziegler. Maddie and Mackenzie Ziegler were
Maria?
the very famous dance moms.
Well, yeah, she's very famous from
sisters.
that film that we
She's very
reviewed.
Maddie-
famous. I mean,
Maria?
Maddie was the one who was Music. Remember we saw Music?
Yeah.
The movie Music, the
Oh,
Sia
fuck.
movie.
Jesus.
And
Okay.
she's very famous for being in a lot of Sia's music videos. So like the Chandelier music video was Maddie Ziegler when she was like 12 or something like that. She was on Ellen DeGeneres and stuff. So she's a very they're both the sisters are great. They're both well known. They have 14 million followers on Instagram each. So like they're very well known. But that one's fun and it's ridiculous. They're in like Belarus or something, and Uma Thurman is in it, and it's basically these prima ballerinas from all over the world are going to this this ballet competition, and their van breaks down right outside like a Rocky Horror type home of the mafia and such, run by Uma Thurman, who was going to be a huge professional ballerina, but the mob got her, and so they're stuck in this, and it's called Pretty Lethal. So there's blood, there's guts, there's gore. It is ridiculous. The reviews online are not very good, but it's because they put knives in their ballet, in their point shoes, and like kill people with knives in their point shoes while they're doing the sugar plum dance. So it's like it's so stupid and ridiculous, but at the same time it's hilarious. There are a couple jumps.
Anyone knows there's no room in a fucking point shoe for a knife.
No, they put it in the shoe. It's like lodged in there. Anyway, there is like a headshot, like a using a gun murder of somebody's head that was really surprising. I thought it was anyway. So I had a good time. Another one that's an hour and a half. It's stupid. It's silly. I don't see either two of you watching it, but hopefully somebody out there again.
Pretty Lethal's on my list actually.
It's honestly stupid and fun, and Uma Thurman's in it, and she has an accent. It's fun. A lot of people die, and they say we're prima fucking ballerinas. So go see it.
Pretty Lethal was produced by the producer of Atomic Blonde and Old Train.
I'm in.
Wow.
That was the last selling point I needed.
All right. Well,
Nice,
there you go.
dude.
It's a women filmmaker, writers
Vicky
and directors.
Jewson.
So, yeah.
And directed by Vicky Jewson and written by Kate Freund. Freund. How would you say that? Freund?
Freund.
Freund.
Freund?
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'd let
Awesome.
them say it first.
Awesome. Cool.
Good point. Anyway, so
That's great,
again,
man.
so
I'm glad they were good.
one movie's a total indie movie, but it has Steve Zahn, but total indie movie. The other movie
And it's going to
It's on
theaters,
Amazon Prime.
obviously. The first one you saw, the Steve Zahn one?
The first one's in theaters and it's in limited release. So get out there and see it so that it gets on more screens. But the second one, I think because it's on Amazon Prime, I don't know if it's actually going to hit any screens. But
Nah.
See indie cinema. Awesome.
yeah. All right, let's do it. Let's do the opposite of indie cinema. Indies. We got Project Hail Mary. So I've been talking. You guys want to get started?
Sure. Yeah, we saw it. I saw it this weekend. So you guys saw it right out of the gate. Y'all saw it first weekend.
In Dolby, I went.
Yeah, why don't you go first, Dave? Yeah, I saw it in Dolby too. I did not see it in IMAX. So
Yeah,
what do you think?
I kind of wish I'd seen it. Apparently, the IMAX 70mm is beautiful.
That's the only one that, let's clarify one more time for listeners. You're not going to get the 1:3:1 ratio that apparently a lot of the space stuff was shot in your average AMC or Regal IMAX. You do have to go to one of the big sexies for 70mm to get that full expansion.
Yeah.
Meaning it's tall. It's tall.
It's very tall. And I'll just say, like, I'm sure that doesn't matter at all because we still had great times. You know, I'm sure it'd be awesome to see it. But
even in Dolby, it was fantastic for me. I like this was I found right when you're starting to think, okay, this is dragging a little bit. What's going on? They throw you something, so it keeps you going with the flashbacks a lot, and you get a lot of the story in flashbacks. You get the story from when he wakes up, and then you get the story in flashbacks for how he got there. And
they tell you.
I love the structure. I'm very impressed with the alien work because they did both practical and CGI, and they meshed it so well you cannot tell.
It is very impressive what they did with that. I am. I'll say this as the cynic who this movie is not made for me, and I still really enjoyed my time in the theater. This feels very almost, and I'm not. I love Steven Spielberg. You have to bow down to that guy, but it feels very Spielbergian in the sense that there's a sentimental sense of family. Everyone's welcome to this movie. There's a creature in it, which honestly I had forgotten about. And I was sitting in the movie theater when that creature first arrived, and I was like, oh man. And I still enjoyed it. It's very much the movie
Dude.
you think it is. It's just a really excellent version of
They
that.
make you tear up over a rock.
Sure, they did. Yeah. I never once thought that rock wasn't going to wake up, but
Me
yes,
either.
you know what I mean? Like, it's still that kind of movie where
that
like
rock. That half that rock was on the floor of that spaceship.
but it was just so well made. This is something I keep thinking about because I had the great privilege of getting to Phil Lord and Chris Miller came to the place I went to school one time, and they were talking to us about an animated feature because they've worked in animation quite a bit.
Movies,
yeah.
They are awesome at that. This movie,
everything is awesome.
This movie feels like, yeah, I got
you. He felt dirty making that joke.
This movie kind of feels like a live action animated movie. And I mean that with the most positive take on that.
Yeah.
Like it has that kind of Pixar-y, DreamWorks animation kind of feel where, again, like it's going to be okay in the end. You're going to feel good at the end of this movie. And throughout, you're going to have humor. You're going to get teary-eyed. You're going to have some amazing musical moments and amazing spectacle moments. And then we'll give credit to Andy Weir, the author who you were criticizing earlier. But this guy has really carved out a niche for himself, hasn't he? Man Alone in Space does something cool with grounded science.
He just needs to stop shitting on the other niches that are carved out.
Sure. Anyway, I am so excited that like I have been, Dave, I don't think you've been bitching as much as I have about this for the past like 2 decades now, but I have been complaining for a long time that I wanted the studios to start making more movies like this. Is it original? No, it's based on IP, but it's not fucking world renowned. Nobody knows who Andy Weir is unless you read his books. Also, you might be reminded of The Martian.
A single book is not IP, like based on a series or whatever. But like, I think it's okay to adapt. You know what I mean? That's okay.
For sure, absolutely. We used to do that all the time. So I'm just excited to see them put their weight behind something like this. It was fun. I hope they make more of them. Like I said, I'm not the person this movie was made for, and I still had a great time. What do you think, Jeff?
If you go to IMDb, there's like 6 aspect ratios listed in the tech specs, and it swaps between them.
Craig Fraser shot the fuck out of this movie. Dude.
Craig Fraser shot the fuck out of this.
Don't think I wasn't surprised when I saw that.
He won an Oscar for the Dude movies. If anybody's curious about who he is,
but it's like
crazy.
You noticed the first one.
Wait, he didn't shoot Dune 3 because he shot this, right?
Yeah. I don't know if that's why.
Oh,
but,
I didn't know that. Cool.
But he like you notice the first aspect ratio change, and that's it. You don't notice it from that point on. You're so engrossed in what's going on screen.
I sat in the 3rd row of an IMAX theater, and I couldn't see the outsides of the frames anyway.
Why would you do that to your neck?
Because it was somewhat impulsive. John, did you look it up?
I did look it up. First of all, I fucked up. His name is Greg, not Greg.
Yeah, Greg.
Greg Fraser.
I didn't hear that articulation.
And you're totally right. He wrote, he did do this, and he has nothing else upcoming, which is
he's Australian,
shocking.
right?
Well, this was huge.
He is. He's one of your boys. He shot the Blue Tongue movies for all the Edgertons that we love so much.
He's one of my other favorites.
I don't have anything to add except I can't wait for the reboot. It was beautiful. It was stunning. When they get to, I think they call it Adrian, whatever the planet is that, or the star. No, it's a planet that has the bacteria that can fight
Adrian.
I already forget. Whatever that stuff's called. I mean, the visuals of that alone, like that sequence alone is just absolutely immaculate. The whole thing was, what I would say is it's so multi-generational because it has the 80s Spielberg nostalgia. It has the 2000s Pixar, Wall-E, Finding Nemo, like that kind of look and that very welcoming.
The alien is cute.
But it also has the 90s. It also has the 90s, like, don't give a shit about the things that people don't give a shit about. The guy has admitted he's not an astronaut. He didn't train to be an astronaut. He didn't want to be an astronaut. And then all of a sudden he is flicking every fucking button and he is flying a fucking spaceship and it's fine.
He plays a lot of Grand Theft Auto.
And he's flicking all these, there's 50,000 switches and he's hitting the exact same ones, even though he literally, whatever. Anyway, and same thing with like Rocky and the language. Like, I feel like you can like smoke or drink with your friends or it's more family friendly. But like, all I'm saying is you could do this and watch and be like, wait a second. Wait, he
There were some moments
he wrote in like some word by word language, and then all of a sudden they're saying very complex phrases and they're speaking fluently with each other.
Yeah.
And Dave's convinced they spoke English in advance. But anyway, I just think that they just knew what to
Rocky
care about.
spoke English in advance.
Rocky, yeah, that's right. I don't think that's true, but he's obviously smarter, and they do the band thing from Interstellar. So I feel like they were paying homage to everything. Like that spaceship moved from like playing strings, like that really felt like the way gravity was used as they went in like that final section of Interstellar. But it's just so charming. It's so meaningful. I feel like as soon as it ended, I wanted my parents to watch it, but I also wanted my nieces to like be a little bit older to watch it and stuff.
Exactly.
So I think
this is a good family film.
And also I don't know if they did it by accident or not, because the book is apparently structured a little different. I did listen to a podcast with Lord and Miller, and everything was practical. They did everything they possibly could. Obviously, there's visual effects, but they did everything they possibly could practical. I think the last thing I'll say, which is hilarious, is they did the accidental, like Matt and Ben called out what the game is, which is like you have to put the action first and then interstitch. They did the format. So it actually is going to translate well, meaning we start with Ryan Gosling in space and he doesn't know why he's there. And we have to figure out so it starts with action and then it goes back and forth, as opposed to doing the Apollo 13, like slow build. So anyway, it's going to live on. It's going to be a part of our lives for a long time.
This definitely has action pieces in it.
Like and let's talk about the only human in the movie for that section.
Yeah, fuck everybody for saying, wow, he can open a movie. Shut the fuck up. Of course he could. Like, he did Barbie, he didn't open, and whatever. And it's like, okay, he wanted to do Blue Valentine and play
means. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think they do either. They're just talking for the sake of talking.
If this was a shit, they're like, well, the Nice Guys didn't open. I was like, the Nice Guys isn't this. This isn't the Nice Guys. Get the fuck out of here. That was Russell Crowe and him in any ye old movie. Like, why would you go to the theaters to see that? This is so obviously.
By the way, I really like that movie.
Yeah, no, it's great. But this could have been a whole bunch of people, but it wasn't. It was Ryan Gosling, and he exceeded every expectation.
I also I loved her Anatomy of a Fall too. But Sandra Hüller, I think that's how you say her name.
Yeah, Dave and I were talking about her.
Dude, man. Love her performance so much. Thought it was so cool. Again, like that moment with karaoke is kind of the sentimental thing I'm talking about. Like, I wouldn't put that in one of my movies, but it fucking works in this movie. Yeah. It works. Every
they did Sign of the
moment
Times.
of that
Did they also
sequence.
do Everybody Wants to Rule the World? Was it both of those? Was it Everybody, or was it just Sign of the Times? I saw the week and a half ago.
I don't know, because
there was another 80s song coming on before she walked
They were
out.
talking about it, and Sign of the Times would be about 10 years old by the time this movie was happening.
That's fine.
Wait, what is this?
It's set in the future.
Oh, okay, I see. I also really liked Lionel Boyce, the dude from The Bear, who played like the government assistant guy. Funny. Again, like, I don't know if any of that was believable. It doesn't matter. It was so charming and funny, and it moved the story so, not aggressively, but it moved it so efficiently that you knew exactly what the language of this film was very quickly, which is important. And the execution was just so well done. And there was enough sincerity there that the sentimentality was never trumped by the emotion. And I don't know. It was good. I definitely got teary-eyed in all the moments they wanted me to get teary-eyed in. And I was ready to go save Rocky, which I don't know if you can, how else could you measure the quality of that movie?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Let's go.
You were like,
I do want to make one joke. Is the sequel to this movie when the entire Earth and the planet that Rocky is from is destroyed by the bacteria that they introduce into our atmosphere? There's a foreign fucking life.
In the post-credit scene, you would love to see a Charlie Day or somebody like try to take that fucking bacteria out, and then just like it explodes or something, and it's like
everything is eaten alive. Everybody's faces are melting.
When that because you knew something happened to put him on there.
Like
so when that
it turns into the Thing or something.
Right. It was a prequel to the Thing. When the lab exploded, dude, my entire theater went back 2 rows.
Everybody felt it. Yeah.
Scared the
and when Rocky
shit out of you.
When Rocky first hits, that got everybody. But yeah, there was part of it. I was walking, I was like, this entire movie is the beginning of most horror sci-fi movies.
Yeah.
Some new piece of life has like found its way to Earth. They did it with the best intentions, and now we're all dead.
It's like when they had that movie Life. And everyone was saying it's the...
that's what I was thinking of. I was like...
But Life was the unofficial prequel to Venom.
That's so funny. Yes, literally, yeah. Anyway, it is as good, I think, as people are saying it is. I haven't seen a movie that hits all 4 quadrants like this with that amount of money, and that was still live action. I can't remember the last one that did that, because I would not include Oppenheimer, Top Gun, Barbie. I would not include any of those. Like, what was the last one you guys can even think of?
Well, I wouldn't include the biggest quote unquote non-IP opening.
But it's not for people. It's not for 9-year-olds. Oppenheimer. You know what I mean? It's not for.
Of course.
Like you said, I want to see my kids. I can't think of the last movie that did
you got
that.
Super Mario. You got actually. It's funny because I was trying to find the poster of one of the movies that I saw, and every single poster, I was like, all of these posters are movies that have money, and it was all for kids. It was all Toy Story 5 had a fucking poster.
Anything you can sell merch with.
So it's just cool that parents are seeing this when they know that they got more money to spend with all these other movies coming out. That's cool.
And well, the thing is, this is drawing people. My screening was packed, and I went on a Friday morning, Friday afternoon.
Yeah, I hope this kicks Moana's ass. You know what I mean?
It might.
We did it.
I don't say it was.
Yeah,
fucking
and
awesome.
the numbers right now, $300 million globally on a $250 million budget, but it's got legs. It made $50 million in its second weekend, only a 32% drop, which is great. The domestic total is 164, so it's got half of its to global total domestically, and that could double. That could go up to 5 or 6. So.
And I hope it does. But let's not forget, like, this is the biggest opening, and it's the biggest movie Amazon has ever made or opened. Mm-hmm. And it's already baked into their platform. They didn't need it to make as much money as a movie released by a distributor, like a traditional biggest studio Amazon who needs to eventually. So I think they're going to sell this a lot. People are going to own this kind of movie like crazy.
Right.
They have already cleared the hurdle to make a lot of money on this.
Yeah.
And I just can't wait to see what it. Anyway, it's great.
Well, there tends to be a dip on Easter weekend, which is next weekend, but families also do gather. So you know what I would love? I would love for people to go see this movie about aliens and life out in the great world, and then they go ahead and celebrate Jesus. And just not see the conflict there. Okay, let's do it. All right, are you guys ready to talk about Dave? I saw Dave look for his buzzer. I saw it like so hard.
I'm like my hand is right here.
That's what she said. All right, that's a good segment, everybody. Buzz for Jesus. It's so good. It's like, let's go see an alien movie and then a Jurassic World movie, and then let's go celebrate Jesus. All right, here we go. You guys ready to talk about 1959? I swear I'm going to keep it tidy. I swear. I don't have much to say.
Don't you come in here and lie to us?
Fuck. Okay, are you guys ready to guess? I feel like John knows this, Dave, I have to admit. So what do you think, Dave, was the highest grossing movie of 1959?
No idea. I couldn't even decide what to pick last week. So
you gotta at least have the list up in front of you, so you can have a.
John, no, you're cheating, John.
I don't have the list up in front of me because, as I keep telling you guys, every time you open your fucking browser, it delays your audio, and then I have to chop it out and fix that.
Well, that's why I use a different device, Dave. I learned my lesson. I use a different device. I'm on my iPad right here.
Any idea how many devices I have surrounding me to run this fucking show?
All right, are you bragging right now? Shut up. There we go. Sorry, Dave, you're the best. Okay, John, what's the highest grossing movie of 1959?
I'm guessing it's the Academy Award winner for Best Picture, Ben-Hur.
All right.
Oh, that was my
Speaking of Jesus, we were all really liking that movie until the last 15 minutes, and we were like, what the fuck? Do you remember when we all watched that together? We were all like, dude, this movie's awesome. And then the last 15 minutes, we were like,
I didn't watch it because I've never seen the whole thing.
Just out of nowhere, but Jesus doesn't speak. He doesn't speak. Wait, out of nowhere, all of a sudden, like he's sitting there, he's like a fucking like gladiator, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, there's Jesus getting crucified."
This is all for this.
This is
yeah.
So weird.
Well, that's right. John mentioned it. So Ben-Hur would go on to win 11 Academy Awards, which would be the most ever, beating Gigi the year before, which had 9. Everybody knows that Gigi from 1958 had 9 Oscars. But
Jesus beat Gigi.
Ben-Hur is currently tied now. It's 11. Nobody's past 11. But what other, I'll give you a hint. There are 2 other movies that have won 11 Oscars, tying Ben-Hur. What are the other 2 movies that have 11 Oscars?
Return of the King.
That's one of them. Yeah. And can you get the other one?
Was Titanic the other one?
Titanic.
Guys.
Yeah.
Gosh, us all around.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as I was alive when the movie came out, I know things.
Now, La La Land had 14 nominations, which might
But
have
it
tied
sucks.
Titanic.
So, yeah.
What the
Sinners
fuck,
had fucking
man?
16 nominations,
But
right?
Sinners had 16. Now, one of those, it's weird because we lost a sound design one, but we gained a casting one. So in the grand scheme of things, it's a wash. Like Hamilton didn't get as many Tony nominations as the producers, but we took out sound design, which is so fucked up. How the fuck do you take sound design out of a Broadway show? Sound design is not a Tony award. A fucking Broadway show. When I go there, I like to hear it. I like to hear the show.
Yeah.
I see it.
So
we
do
get
I.
lights, we get sets, we get costumes, but no sound. Fucking stupid. The producers had one. Hamilton doesn't, so Hamilton would have the most with the whatever. None of this matters. Ben-Hur is 11. You guessed the other two. The fantastic job, everybody. It was also the most expensive movie to date, which was $15 million by the time it premiered. Was how much they put into it, and it made that back. So good for them. How about that?
How much do you think that is right now? How much you guess?
I actually, you know what, I was just about to think, in my 1959, like, I didn't do the currency exchange. I would say it's got to be 10 to 1, right? It's got to be, I would guess 150. Do you think it's more than that? I guess it depends on what the inflation is. Because, like, if it's a home, it's like 20x, which would be 300 million. But do you have the converter going?
I do. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to interrupt you.
Anyway, yeah, that's fine. Well, let's keep going. Number 2.
Actually, not that much. Apparently, it would be around 170 million. That's actually way less than I thought it would be. That says something about how fucked up our production costs are nowadays. That is like half of our most expensive movies nowadays.
But I would think about this. Nobody was unioned.
People died on that shoot, dude.
Yeah, at least one person died and a whole bunch of animals. I'm sure these horses did not do well.
And that's why they're fucking union now.
Remember they canceled that show Luck because a horse died? Can you imagine what had happened today? Fucking Ben-Hur. Okay.
Oh, it's awful.
Okay, moving on. Number 2, for my Eddie Murphy fans, guys, number 2, 1959, The Shaggy Dog comes in at number 2. I'm using Wikipedia today because it's so old I can't trust any of the numbers. By the way, Ben-Hur apparently made $36 million, so that $50 million budget was worth it. Operation Petticoat comes in at number 3 for Universal. Number 4, Some Like It Hot for United Artists. How about that? Number 5 would be Pillow Talk for Universal. And to round out the top 5, we have Imitation of Life, Suddenly Last Summer. We have a tie for number 8, even though they also have 9. So there's 11 in our top 10. We have Rio Bravo and The Nun Story both came in at number 8. North by Northwest.
I was just going to say, how is that?
Make money.
How is that behind those other 4 that you just listed? That's crazy to me.
It's fucking stupid. And number 10, our movie, Anatomy of a Murder, made a little over $5 million to come in 10th. A little bit of film news before you mention other great movies that came out this year. The Battle of the Smellies starts. Now, this is funny because this is the first time we've ever been in 1959, which is why I didn't do my little intro thing at the very beginning with what other movies that we do. But we have mentioned the Battle of the Smellies. Dave, can you remind everybody what the Battle of the Smellies is?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, we did it last time. I thought you remembered.
No.
It is, they call it Aromarama.
Oh, God, that
and
thing.
Mentioned in the documentary Behind the Great Wall. Scents were pumped into the theater during the film.
Oh, my.
It started with this documentary called Behind the Great Wall in Aromarama. And it's like Disney World. They tried to do this for theaters where you could put smells in, and it did not go successfully. It works at Disney World, and it works nowhere else. A couple other things. John, I hope I don't step on your thunder with these 2 films here, but
do it.
Francois Truffaut's The 400 Blows opens the 1959 Cannes Film Festival, bringing international attention to the French New Wave, which would get upped when Les Cousins would win the Golden Bear at the Berlin Festival, also a French New Wave film. So big year for the French New Wave, 1959, which is largely associated to the 60s. It's come up in our conversation for films in the 60s, but here in 1959, the big festivals, Cannes and Berlin, got that fired up for us. A couple other, I swear, not too many. Walt Disney released Sleeping Beauty. You might notice was not in the top 10, but it came out January 29th. It is Disney's first animated. It is Disney's first animated film to be shown in 70 millimeter and had a modern 6-track stereophonic sound. But it is the last fairy tale adaptation until sorry, until 1989 for Disney World. They did no fairy tale adaptations between 1959 and 1989. The Three Stooges released their 190th but last short film, Sappy Bullfighters. A contract between Paramount and Jerry Lewis signed specifying a payment of $10 million plus 60% of profits for 14 films over 17 years. This contract makes Lewis the highest paid individual Hollywood talent to date and is unprecedented. Even now, I would take that. I guaranteed 14 films in 7 years, $10 million up front plus 60% of the profits. Tell me somebody who would say no to that. How much money would Nate Bargatze make off of that contract right now?
How much are the profits? 60?
60. No, yeah.
That's insane.
60.
What studio head would make that deal? 60% of the profits to talent.
How about this? He also gets unprecedented, unlimited creative control, including Final Cut. And he gets the return of the film rights.
Sounds like a nightmare,
years,
honestly.
Sinners.
I would never give anyone that much control.
No way. Rock Hudson, who would later be voted the top 10 money-making star, but not this year, first appears in Pillow Talk alongside Doris Day for the first time. And legendary Australian actor Errol Flynn. Dave dies of a heart attack in Vancouver in Canada this year. So I wanted to mention that. I already mentioned Ben-Hur won 11 Oscars. William Wyler and Charlton Heston each won. Yes, that's right. Charlton Heston, the gun rights guy, won an Oscar for acting, lead acting, that is. But Some Like It Hot did win a whole bunch of Golden Globes, including Jack Lemmon and Marilyn Monroe. But the fun thing about the Oscars this year, that's all. I don't want to say anything about the Oscars, except almost none of the stars went. For two reasons. Number one, there was a 4-week actors strike that was right around this time, but also an incident involving Jerry Lewis. I'm sorry, did I say that contract was signed this year? Jerry Lewis staged a closing number the previous year of the Oscars that offended so many people that almost every star boycotted the Oscars the next year. But there were also concerns that this year, Paramount Pictures, it was just a promo for Paramount Pictures, and they thought it was sponsoring the Oscars to basically win for Ben-Hur. So there was a whole lot of shit behind the scenes. People thought Paramount was buying the Oscars for Ben-Hur.
Yeah, they only started doing that in the 80s.
I'll mention a couple other world news and fun facts, but any other movies you want to shout out from the 1959 film year?
We should definitely call out Hiroshima Mon Amour and The World of Apu. And I am shocked and happy to hear that suddenly last summer made it into the top 10 above North by Northwest. That is a Tennessee Williams adaptation, one of my favorite plays of his. And that movie is intense as fuck. And it stars Kat Hepburn and Elizabeth Taylor. And it's so dark and so weird. I'm so surprised it did that well. Happy to hear it, though. Diary of Anne Frank, which you're not going to talk about the Oscars, but that did
win an
well
Oscar.
too.
It won Best Supporting Actor, Actress,
and,
Best Supporting Actress.
That's enough. Yeah, there was one more I wanted to mention, but that's fine. Great.
Was that Anne Bancroft, that one? Who won that Supporting Actress?
Yeah, right. As the teacher?
Yeah,
No. Who is her teacher? Wait, now we have to know. Hold on. Her teacher was. I
literally was like, I'm not going to do this.
Shelley
and now here we are.
Winters.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Okay.
Have you guys ever seen that movie? I'll go ahead and out myself. I've never seen it. Directed by George Stevens, one of my favorite directors. No. Diary of Anne Frank.
Oh, no. Oh. Sorry. No.
Yeah, I never saw it. Got to see it.
I thought I would have seen it in school or something, but no. Okay, so this is funny. The site that I usually use for this just was, maybe it's obsolete. Yeah, I mean, people read that book in school.
Sure, yeah, that would be a roll the TV into the classroom kind of movie, wouldn't it?
Yeah, put in a little square box in front of the classroom. People in the back can barely see it. People in the front were getting fucked up. That's tough.
That's good.
Anyway, so the site that I usually use for some of this went sort of defunct, so I'm off the grid. But the first site I looked at was Fun Facts for Kids, 1959. So it was a kid-friendly 1959, and the number one fact that they said is Fidel Castro became the leader of Cuba. That's the first fact for kids. Every kid needs to know about Fidel Castro.
Yeah, that 5-year-old
political change for the country. And it's actually funny. You are allowed to blockade Cuba, but nobody's allowed to blockade the Strait of Hormuz because that would be wrong. But if you blockade Cuba and
Topical.
people die in a hospital because they can't get oil, that's terrible. But if the, you can bomb the fuck out of anybody that's blockading this freedom of use. I mean, it's fun.
Well, we all know our president is the North Star of morality and ethics. So
This is for both of us. Are you guys ready?
Guys, I want to fly
buzz us
soon.
for that.
Yeah. I want to get through the airport. Fuck.
No, just in case they're listening. Guys, the United States only had 48 states before 1959. In 1959, Alaska became the 49th state and Hawaii became the 50th state. You would have thought with Pearl
One of
Harbor,
those was a good
They would have
choice.
done Hawaii a little bit quicker. Dave. I think we just like the size of Alaska. And probably its proximity to Russia too. But I think just the idea
that was
of
going to
the
say.
size of it.
And maybe the enormous amount of oil.
The state is almost. The oil helps too. Remember how they don't have to pay any taxes there because they make so much oil money that the state just feels bad for them, and the government's and they have bears. Okay.
And you can see Russia from their porch.
I want to drink glacier water really bad. Before I die, I want to drink some glacier water from Alaska.
You want to take a bow hunting
it's
trip
melting,
to Alaska? Should we go up there and let it rip? See who dies?
like into the wilds. Okay, keep moving.
That'll be our last show.
Day, guys, this is the day a sad event happened in the music industry. Popular American musicians Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper were tragically killed in a plane crash known as the day the music died. The plane was affectionately called American Pie. We all know the song, but that happened here in 1959. And I saw the movie, man. He was too young. Buddy Holly, man. He was young. Holy shit. On March 9th, guess what? The very first Barbie dolls were sold. The iconic doll quickly became a favorite toy for children everywhere in 1959. The top song was Mac the Knife by Bobby Darin, with so many key changes.
Love that song.
Other influential songs this year include Sea of Love by Phil Phillips, Teen Beat by Sandy Nelson, Peter Gunn by Ray Anthony, and La Bamba by Richie Valens. Can you imagine having La Bamba? It's a huge hit, and then you die in a plane crash. Can you imagine that all in the same year? That's tough. But also, don't forget, Neil Sedaka's first top 10 hit, Oh, Carol, came out, referencing his high school girlfriend, Carol Klein. But that name was too Jewish. She changed her name to Carol King. How about that? Disneyland's monorail system, the first daily operating monorail system in the Americas, opened to the public in Anaheim, California. How about that? John, how far are you from Anaheim, California?
Hour and a half.
My wedding is pretty close to it, just so you know. Okay, here we go. 1959, the inch. This is true. In 1959, the inch was adjusted by 2 millionths of an inch to make it equal to precisely 25.4 millimeters. They literally changed the definition of an inch in 1959.
Well, guys change the definition of an inch all the time.
Oh, come on.
To match 25.4 millimeters.
25.4? Wait, what is that even matching?
We needed an even number, 25.4.
What the fuck? They should have gone a little more.
Motherfuckers won't go metric.
Guess what? Yeah, that's true. Guess what? Dave, I don't know why this makes me think of you. Scientists discovered the Y chromosome was needed to create males.
Don't worry, I'll get there.
Oh boy.
The Y chromosome
jokes.
was discovered now. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it. I'm almost done. I swear. The Guggenheim Museum opened this year. In 1959, westerns were the most popular television shows. There were 26 that year. I'm gonna do the top movies, the top TV shows this year, and just how many of them are westerns. I'm gonna go from 10. 10. The Real McCoys.
1.
Perry Mason. Okay.
No.
Wanted, Dead or Alive.
I'm
not
gonna
sure.
go, yeah.
It's probably 2. Number 7, 77 Sunset Strip. Definitely not. Number 6, Father's Knows Best. No. The Red Skelton Show. No. The Danny Thomas Show. But then, Have Gun, Will Travel.
Gonna say yes.
Wagon Train.
Yep, that's on the list.
And Gunsmoke. The top 3 shows were all westerns.
5
of the top 10.
Yeah, not bad.
And the top 3 shows were westerns. That's pretty crazy, right? And the Conair hair dryer changed the way hair was styled in American households. Just ask Dave.
God.
Top 10 baby names of 1959. Mary, Susan, Linda, Karen, and Donna. Donna. My wife, Donna. Sorry. And both you guys show up here in the top 5 male names. Michael, David, James, John, and Robert. New books this year is important because it includes Goldfinger by Ian Fleming, The Haunting of Hill House, Psycho, and Starship Troopers were all 4 of the top 5 books published in 1959. How great is that? And
well, Hill House, the movie came out this year too. That's crazy. They made the same year as the book.
The book came out this year.
Is Hill House the one that is hailed as having the most morally bereft scene ever put on film? Or is that? I think it's Last House on the Left.
They remade it a bunch.
I think it might have been Last House on the Left. There's one.
Hill House is the one that Mike Flanagan remade for Netflix in a 6-part miniseries.
No, he did Hill House.
The Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah, okay.
I
think it was Last House on the Left then.
That was a good pandemic watch.
George Romero, right? That sounds like something he would do.
Yeah, it's the most morally bankrupt scene ever put on film, according to reviewers.
I kind of like The Haunting of Bly Manor too. It was not as good as Hill House. It wasn't as scary, but it was. If you like the strangers,
Dude,
the others, if you like the others,
Midnight Mass, I called in the first 5 minutes of the show, and I didn't even mind.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah,
I didn't even mind.
And it's Wes Craven, not George Romero. I didn't realize that was Wes Craven's first movie, right?
Yeah, I think he did the remake.
Yeah. No, he did the original, bro. Like I'm looking at it right now.
Original Craven, nice.
2 teenage girls heading to a rock concert. All right, I think we can all guess the scene you're talking about. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's get on. Okay, all right. We are now going to head into the top food and beverage trends of 1950s. But again, the site that I usually use, it was it just wasn't loading. It was defunct. It just doesn't work. I don't know what happened to them.
Dude, how fucked up do you have to be to get blocked from a food site?
Well, it wasn't just food sites, of course, but it was all the news. But they always had the food and beverage trend would turn into a favorite of ours. So I'm going to do this really quick before we finally get into our conversation about anatomy of a murder.
What are you searching?
I am going to, since this is 1959, and 1960 is a huge year, right? Kennedy was elected and everything changed from then. Mad Men takes place in 1959, at least it starts there before it goes into the 60s. So I'm going to give you the number 1 food and beverage trend of every year in the 1950s leading up to 1959 as the button of this. That's what I decided to do, and it's my segment, so I get to do whatever the fuck I want. But number 1, which in this case is 1950, the number 1 food and beverage trend was tuna casserole.
Yes.
Not for me. That is not for me.
No.
That is
come on.
not
I'm out.
for me.
I'm sitting dinner out.
Let's do it.
Casserole I'm so out. Number 1951, baked Alaska.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
1952, Dave, this one's for you. Spam, the number 1 food and beverage trend in 1952.
Spam,
that is for you.
Spam.
1953, I wrote, it's deviled eggs. Deviled eggs, big, 1953.
I'm eating in 53, I can tell you that.
A lot of dinner parties with people sitting on furniture wrapped in plastic. In 1953,
so many cigarettes and deviled eggs. So many.
Yeah, but the cigarettes didn't seep into the furniture when they were wrapped in plastic. That's right. 1954, chicken tetrazzini. Sounds awfully specific for a number 1, but it sounds great. 1955, green bean casserole makes total sense. Again, I hope this comes out okay. I hope this sounds as...
You hate the South. I get it. You hate the South. You hate all casseroles.
No, it's not the South. It sounds like they're only thinking about stay-home moms who cook for dinner parties.
Not just dinner parties, things you can put in the oven because you're doing other stuff for your kids. You need something that can bake for an hour that's easy to prepare. Casseroles, they exist for a reason.
Deviled eggs,
I made one the other night.
Tetrazzini. Okay, tuna casserole. Okay. Fuck everybody. That's for me.
Just in case.
Okay. Where did I leave off? Green bean casserole. Okay, 1956. We're getting to the sweet stuff. We got banana cream pie.
Oh. I mean,
1957, all barbecue. Barbecue grilling out became really big here in 1957.
As an Australian, I will take that to the face anytime.
Yeah, dude.
Take that to the face. Okay. 1958, pancakes.
Just in general.
Pancakes
Big fan of 58.
Just pancakes in general.
I wonder how they made their move to number 1.
And
they existed.
How do they creep their way up? I don't know. They worked their way up. Maybe pans got really well.
Suddenly diners opened everywhere.
Honestly, IHOP took over.
In 1959, the number 1 food and beverage trend from this year, since I don't have 2 through 10, cheese balls. Cheese balls, which has been on our list before. Cheese balls has totally been on our list before. The Chicago Tribune in 1959 included the pecan-coated cottage and blue cheese ball in a roundup article of easy-to-prepare cocktail party snacks, and people fucking ran with it. And we're making cheese balls.
I think we've talked about cheese logs before, which I make for the holidays now.
Cheese logs have come.
Got this
cheese balls have come up before. Also,
the balls are just bite-sized versions. I love
lion's share of ball jokes.
Come on.
Which I won't do again.
At my prom weekend, we went to Wildwood, New Jersey, which is not a nice place, obviously. And I remember somebody got a giant thing of cheese balls and just poured it all over himself on the bed. And we just left it.
Sure. Boys will be boys kind of moment.
Yeah. Sometimes the foreplay is so good.
Bunch of cheesy balls in the bed. Yeah, what else did you guys do that weekend? You're not going to talk about that, are you? It was a great weekend, dude. We don't talk about it.
I ran track that weekend.
I fucking run too.
Ice cream on the beach.
Just euphemisms everywhere.
Went to the arcade.
Ran some track. Ice cream's on the beach. What else?
Euphemisms.
Don't go in the bushes.
Cheese balls in the bed. All right, guys. It is time for our conversation about Anatomy of a Murder. This is an Otto Preminger film, of course. Screenplay by Wendell Mays. The novel was by Robert Traver, and it is based on a very true story that takes place in a very real place in Michigan. I'm trying to clear our buzzer. It's not, there we go. It takes place in a very real place in Michigan. And the music, guys, was by Duke Ellington, who makes an appearance as Pie-Eye. Pie-Eye?
Yeah.
But yes.
The guy with the piano.
With a nice score by Duke Ellington. Yes, he plays the piano with Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah.
Or dude, Jimmy Stewart plays some questionable piano with fucking Duke Ellington. Can you imagine the nuts you have? That is somebody who went to war. And he's like, yeah, I'll play piano with you. It's a fucking war. Fuck you. Like, I can do it. All right. I bought this movie because it was $4.99 on Amazon. I bought it. I mean, I have it on Amazon until Amazon tells me, fuck you. And then I don't have it anymore. But I bought it on Amazon because it was only $4.99. But wait, can I say this is the best trivia? I didn't know this. I don't know if you guys knew this. Did you know that the Anatomy of a Murder movie poster was voted the #1 movie poster ever by Premiere Magazine? Did you know that?
Wow.
No, but that guy's title is Secret. Saul Bass. He did some really great ones. And this is definitely
number
up there
3.
for sure.
So first of all, it actually has been updated. He has done this before, Saul Bass, but he has updated his. So if you see one that is red and yellow, that is actually an adaptation. It's originally just the red with the white body and like almost like a pencil figure. That was the original one. The number 3 of all time was also by him, which was Vertigo.
Yeah, definitely one of the Hitchcocks. Yeah.
So Saul Bass, and honestly, he did most of the Hitchcocks, and even the ones he didn't do were all based on his anyway. And he did like fucking a Schindler's List one that they didn't use, but it's like they're all his. Like he's a fucking genius. He has an Academy Film Archive all to himself. He had 27,000 items.
An entire wing.
Guys, this motherfucker did the AT&T logo. That little blue world with like the 4 rings or whatever. Saul Bass did the fucking AT&T logo, and he probably made more money off of that than all of the movie posters combined. Let's be real. But anyway, yes, Anatomy of a Murder was a game-changing movie, even though John thinks the movie sucked. I'm kidding. I'm going to read the IMDb description as I always do. I rented it though. Did you all rented it, right? Or I bought it, but you know what I mean?
No, I watched it on Roku.
Oh, it is
with
on
ads?
Roku. I don't have a Roku. Wait, you have a Roku?
No, if you go to Roku on like your phone, and then you stream it to like your Apple TV.
Our DP really loves the quality of the films that he's watching.
No, it comes out perfect quality, and there's no ads.
You screen mirrored it to your you like did like image like mirroring or whatever, and it came out perfect quality.
Do you have any idea how fast my home network is?
Yeah, but you always say it's the servers. It's not just about you; it's about the servers.
Well, this was an old film.
You. All right. Have you guys seen this movie before?
No.
Nope.
I'm going to read the IMDb description. We're going to send it on its way. Otto Preminger. Here we go. An upstate Michigan lawyer defends a soldier who claims he killed an innkeeper due to temporary insanity after the victim raped his wife. What is the truth? And will he win this case? Guys, I kick it off to you. What did you think? What did you feel about Anatomy of a Murder, your first time watch? Who wants to go first?
I'm going to say straight up, the reason this didn't get a gold star for me is because of the way the wife was written. It totally belittled the crime. For me, her reactions were not appropriate for someone who's been through that trauma. Like, it just did not make sense. I couldn't reconcile it in my mind.
Even putting it in 1959 still didn't quite do it.
It felt like it was written as a male fantasy, almost.
Did you feel like it was a film noir, like they were trying to write the femme fatale or anything?
A little bit, but it's just the character didn't gel with what she'd been through, which it doesn't become relevant in the story. She's just like that. So I feel like that character is badly written, and that's why it got just a great, because the rest of the film is actually quite good.
Dave, we've seen Lee Remick in a movie we've talked about before, and it was a movie she was nominated for an Oscar. Do you remember what it was?
No.
It was her only Oscar nomination, and it's a very niche film. I'll give you a hint. It's one of the movies we've done about alcoholism, and we've done a bunch.
Was it Virginia Woolf?
No. That was Elizabeth Taylor.
Good, because I checked out on that one too.
I was just trying to bait Dave for that. It was Days of Wine and Roses. She was the wife in Days of Wine and Roses.
Yeah, I just didn't like the way that character was written or directed, I guess.
Do you want to praise the rest of it, or anything? Do you want to?
Absolutely, I'll praise the rest of it. It was the cinematography was great. They invented shit to do tracking shots instead of using rear projection, which I'll talk about in a minute. And dude, good courtroom scenes are just fun. Like when they get him right, and he was having fun. I actually liked his performance in this a lot.
This is Jimmy Stewart?
Yeah. That's all I'll say now.
All right.
Jeff, you hit it. Since you're the next great.
It's been a week since I've seen this. I'm reconciling it. I will say it's long. It's 2 hours and 41 minutes. So I definitely don't want to dissuade anyone from watching it.
Yeah. We're going to start picking movies after John hangs up the Zoom call. So
Hail Mary was 240. Did you guys feel that?
Project Hail Mary?
A little occasionally.
There were kind of 2 or 3 endings, so maybe, but and yeah, I don't know, whatever. We were in the theater, so it's different. If we were in the theater for this, maybe it wouldn't have felt that long. Look, once you get to the courtroom, it's amazing. It takes a while to get there, and there's good stuff along the way for sure. I was worried a couple times because I thought there were some really weird swipes, some weird edits early on. I thought that they were kind of overselling Jimmy Stewart being a fisherman. Although I really loved the line. I loved the line. Oh my God, I wrote it down really quick. I love the line when he catches first of all, he's in the middle of catching a fish when a huge piece of advice, maybe it's when they found out about the murder or something. He was on a boat in I forget where it was. Where is it? Okay. If this refrigerator gets any more fish in it, it'll swim upstream and spawn all by itself.
It's when he got home with the fish.
I think it's his assistant that he doesn't pay said that.
Dude, I liked her. Yeah. I liked her. You can't fire me until you pay me.
She was great.
That was good too. You can't fire me. Yeah, that's his assistant. But anyway, I think once you get to the courtroom scene, it's a 10 out of 10. And I think even the district attorney, who is not very good, but George C. Scott is the co-prosecutor. And he is as good as you get. Obviously, we know that name, and it's not just because he did a version of Christmas Carol, and it's not just because he won an Oscar for Patton.
Big role too.
This is his first big role, and he plays the opposite. He plays against Ed. It's incredible. I do see what you're saying, David. Maybe that's it for the beginning of it. I feel like the beginning of it for me. So here's what I think. I think the second half of the movie is a gold star, and I think the first half of the movie is an okay. So it lands in a great. You know what I mean? No, it's in a good. So it's even some of
the courtroom scenes, because this deals with a rape, and they go through the gamut of was she being promiscuous? What were you wearing? How drunk were you? They go through all the crap that women are asked, and it's in a courtroom proceeding. I didn't like it. That didn't sit well with me.
probably realistic though. So I have to give him some credit on that, you know, like when they
Especially
say
in
like, oh,
59.
you weren't wearing a girdle. I was like, oh, wow, very good there. I didn't think the words army slut would just like fucking fly out the screen at me like that. You know what I mean?
This did get, they had to edit it in certain countries. They weren't going to let them release it. Yeah.
So I think I loved the movie on the whole, and I hope everybody sees it. And so my question is, did I watch a great movie and a good movie get meshed together? Or maybe I should see it again, because I do feel like even, you know what, there was a scene where when they finally, him and his like assistant, who I really like, who also like drives late and can't drive and gets in an accident. Jimmy Stewart sits on his desk and says basically like, tell me the case. And I immediately was like, that's the Maltese Falcon. It is just like the way he's sitting on the desk and his assistant's in the chair off to the side while she is whatever explaining the case. I was like, this is, they're trying to do a noir at the beginning of this, as opposed to creating the new courtroom genre. Because I don't think there were a lot of courtroom genres before 1959, you know? So I think like, if you just think about it as the first courtroom drama, it's the best thing ever. And it's based on a true story. It's incredible. But if you think about it as, it kind of feels like the femme fatale, and it kind of feels like they're introducing it as a noir. I'm a little confused about how they bridge the gap, but I still really, really love this movie. I'm really happy I saw it. That's my speech. Okay, John.
Yeah, Dave, I completely agree with you. I think that's my main hang up for this movie. So if it is authentic, it would have been talked about that way. And if she would have acted that way, I guess it's okay. There's just not a single bit of me that believes that a woman would have acted that way if that happened to her.
Yeah.
So I felt like I was watching a movie, and I was just in a bad way. I was ripped out of reality. And they even did a little bit more than that, which I could see being kind of salacious and provocative on the page. I could see it working in a novel by making her be so sexualized and flirty. The first thing out of her mouth, he says, "You got that black eye. Did what's his name give you that? The rapist?" And she says, "You should see the rest of me." Or something like, "Yeah, you should see the rest of me." And she says it in a very provocative way. So I'm actually blaming the direction even more than what's on the page.
Yeah.
I feel like they really lean into that. And I don't even want to harp on it too much. It is what it is, but it really bothered me. And I'm usually not the one who says that, but I had a lot of trouble swallowing it. And it kept coming up, and then it builds to that scene in the court that you already talked about. So that bummed me out kind of the entire time. Unless
it is hard to get past. Yeah,
unless
exactly.
She was lying, because the best part about this movie is its cynicism, which it seems to be, and just the stuff I read about it, that it was definitely one of the book did it, and then the movie certainly did it. One of the first times that a real cynicism about the strategy of courtrooms and defense lawyers was that realistic, where you're supposed to question whether or not he did it the entire time, and if Jimmy Stewart knew he did it or didn't do it, and why. And they were so. The only way that's really okay with me, and maybe I'm being a little too Pollyanna about this, is that maybe she was fucking lying, and she fucked this guy, and we're supposed to know that, and we're supposed to assume that, and that's not what the movie's about. And she clearly got what she wanted out of it, and her husband got what she wanted out of it, and that's why he left at the end. And Jimmy Stewart knew that they got what they wanted out of it, and he basically started a new law career using them as a way to further his career as well. They might even be that cynical, in which case I would be totally okay with it. It's just a little provocative and inappropriate then.
It's sat wrong with me.
If it isn't that.
I think a modern audience is going to be a little bit triggered by that one.
I think the only way.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I think they work really hard to make you believe that she thinks that that's what's happened. And if that's true, anyway, we don't need to talk about it anymore. That bothered me a lot. And I think
the only way that this makes sense is if you think about it as the first, because I'm with you. What I saw was it was probably a consensual sexual relationship. Maybe it went too far. It doesn't really matter for our analysis of this, you know. I'm not saying, of course, it matters and if it actually happened. And then, but what we saw in film, she obviously, like, who goes out when their husband's in jail? Like who goes out and it's not that she's down to fuck, but she's like out like philandering and like it's in 1959.
Well, yeah, she went out.
There's no way.
She went out and got drunk, and we've all done that.
She got drunk between the final closing arguments and the announcement. I mean, like, so they leaned onto that way too much. That's why I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt of saying film noir when it comes to the femme fatale character, because there's no way that she was raped. There was some, because it's just too weird the way that they filmed it based on what we saw in real life, maybe, but based on what we saw.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm taking it too far. Maybe you didn't want to say that, but based on what we saw.
I agree with you.
No, it's
just based on again, in real life, I don't know, and I don't want to diminish that in any way, shape, or form.
All I'm saying,
what we saw,
she
didn't seem to be hiding too much guilt or grief or anything. She lived her life as if she was kind of happy that her husband, based on what we saw, she seemed like she was free. And she seemed like he was abusive. Like they made it seem like he was abusive, and she was happy that.
Yeah, I feel like there was a lot of.
She was abuse.
I guess there's a lot of confused stuff that comes out during a trial, but I feel like there was just a lot of confused plot developments there.
There's also the other possibility, you guys, which is really dark, but it may have been so common for women to have been sexually assaulted that way back then that maybe it wasn't that, she wasn't even allowed to feel that much of a deal. Anyway, I don't want to start on it too much.
I'm not going to go there.
It's possible.
My favorite thing about this movie was the simplicity and restraint in how it was staged and directed.
Yeah,
there were so few edits and cuts to reaction shots and things like that. That I know this is going to sound super simple, and I would imagine he gave himself this rule when he was thinking about staging. I always felt like the camera, not just in the courtroom, but just in general, was the jury. I always felt like I had a seat in the room, and I got to just watch people deliberate, talk, reveal information, find things out.
If you want some fun, get yourself a little hand counter and go through and figure out how many two shots there are in this. Because there's always the main character and then someone in the background, and then they'll move to the foreground. And so, I get what you mean about the staging.
Yeah, a
bunch of a lot of two shots in this.
Right. A whole bunch of different compositions within staging of camera. So camera doesn't move a lot. Actors move a lot to create different composition, which is always fun.
I'll tell you one thing. I had to look up how they got that first shot with the car, because I'm like, oh, they're just on a trailer, and then the camera pans around, and I'm like, how the fuck did they do that? Because it's not a shot on the screen. They're moving with the car. So the camera, and so I looked it up. He actually built, they call it a Rube Goldberg rig. And he actually built this thing that sits low so that you can get the person in the driver's window. And it's a really low trailer with the tripod, the sound gear, everything's on the trailer. And they drove along and actually moved the camera.
And it's just partly because they wanted to film on location too, right? They wanted to be in Michigan as much as possible.
He didn't want projection, which is what they were doing at the time.
Yeah, that poor man's process.
Well, because they were filming they were also filming in sound stages in the LA, but they actually probably shot that shot you're talking about in Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was good. And I think just the cynicism is the most interesting part to me. Funny enough, you guys, I went to an estate sale this weekend. We go to those sometimes, and there was a first edition copy of this book, and I almost bought it, but I didn't. But there it was, sitting there, Anatomy of a Murder.
Again, it's based on a true story and a true case. It's based on a real case.
This is something else I wanted to ask you guys, because we have a really unique perspective by looking back. What is that? That's almost 60 years at this point. And this was a big deal at the time, supposedly, because it was Jimmy Stewart's, one of his first real forays into trying to subvert the type that he usually played, which was the opposite of this guy, a very ethical, moral, hopeful, optimistic, idealist. And this man is not that, for sure. Looking back, I appreciate that more than I believed it. It kind of felt like, even though I believed him moment to moment, it kind of feels like when Tom Hanks tries to do that nowadays, where I just don't know if I buy the casting. I buy the performance and the acting, but there may have been a more exciting casting opportunity. I think I just would have been a little bit more. I think I may have had a little bit more fun being grossed out by somebody doing this that has a little more edge to them than Stewart, but he's still Stewart.
I really enjoy. I'll disagree with that. I really enjoyed him in this role more than other roles I've seen him play a lot. So yeah, I really enjoyed this for that reason.
I'll say I need another viewing to think what you thought, John. He has so much charisma and he uses it well. So he knew who he is, and he's the kind of guy that's going to go to a courtroom and get his hooks and bait ready to go while like he's in a fucking like illegal proceeding.
Well, let's be real. They want you to think, and it's a wise casting decision from a producerial perspective, that they needed to do in 1959. They wanted you to know the man's strategy walks the line on ethics. Therefore, we need you to not doubt if the man is a bad person. Who do we cast? Jimmy Stewart. We want you to know that it's a good person playing on the razor's edge there. Versus
also, if
casting someone
because this movie was considered a dirty movie, so you also needed somebody to help the medicine go down. Like you needed some sugar to help the medicine go down. He says in this, there is a line that he says, he spends his nights smoking cigars, drinking bourbon, and reading law.
With one of the great men. Yeah, I love that line.
In a movie that says the words army slut, rape, and panties.
And sperm.
In 1959. And sperm. Sperm is apparently a huge thing. And this is only 20 years from Frankly, My Dear, almost, I don't give a damn, almost thinking a movie.
In a non-salacious way as well.
So in a weird way, I'm with you, John, but that's I feel like that's too modern of a perspective. You needed him to help the medicine go down in this, so it's like nowadays going back, and especially knowing what we know, where we have the DA was fine, but he wasn't good, and George C. Scott's with the way he everything we said about her, the wife, we understand, but the cross of her with George C. Scott, now that's some shit. Right? The way he's playing the opposites, the way he's goading her on and stuff. It's like, that is some really good stuff. So if you had Charles Drummond, is that the character in Inherit the Wind? If you had somebody who's a little bit more countercultural, then yeah, that would be fun. I can only imagine what a fucking Gene Hackman would have done with the Jimmy Stewart role in this case. But it's almost like you had to have it. So I appreciate it. Even though I feel like if I watched it, now that I bought it, if I watch the second or third time, I'm going to be like, what if this person played this scene? You're right.
I also, and this is me, it just didn't work for me. I just didn't like the score. I love the music. It just didn't work for the movie for me, except when it was diegetic. So when he was playing it,
I get what you mean.
When he comes back to his office and she's listening to it, totally fine. Jazz was around. I get it. It works. But as a score to the film,
so much jazz. Yeah.
It just felt too moody for me. And whenever, sometimes those French films can get away with it. There's some amazing Miles Davis scores. It just feels like a little moody in a movie that also felt like it was completely grounded in realism. Yeah. In like
the Academy
every other way.
You. They didn't even nominate Duke Ellington. He wasn't even nominated for the Oscar. But how about this? The film was cut, scored, and in previews only a month after filming had wrapped. John, Amazing. How long did Sanitas take? I can't remember.
Yeah, you're looking at most movies will take 6 months to a year to do post.
Yeah.
How about this?
Very
Otto
impressive.
Preminger sued Columbia Pictures and its TV subsidiary Screen Gems when it sold the film in a package of 60 films. That's right. It was bundled like it was a fucking stock buyback. No, I'm kidding. But in New York, ABC interrupted the 160-minute film 13 times with 36 commercials, which sounds like
it's Amazon.
Every fucking movie we ever saw.
Yeah.
Preminger was so furious that he took the film to court. He took it to court, saying his film was mutilated, and he lost. How funny is it that the director of this movie took this movie to court
Imagine if
funny,
he won.
Right? And he understands legal proceedings.
It would have changed the whole Netflix cheap plan dynamic if he'd won.
Also,
fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Did they just talk about murdering bullfrogs in this? Did they sit there and be like, I just love fucking murdering bullfrogs?
Yeah,
they
you
just
catch
did,
bullfrogs.
right? They're like, you catch them and you just fucking murder them.
Let's talk about Joseph Welch, who plays the judge, who I didn't know any of his real life about him. I just thought it was a great performance and a unique casting. I was like, this guy's great.
Spencer
I'm
Tracy
loving it.
turned it down. They said, fuck it, let's cast a real guy. Yeah.
So yeah, he was an American lawyer who served as the chief counsel for the United States Army while confronting the House on American activities. Joseph McCarthy. He really did that shit as the lead attorney. Badass. And it's just one of those times.
He confronted McCarthy. He was on the good side, right? He was on the side of history.
Correct. Yeah. And I just thought, honestly, all the lines written for him were fantastic. I loved the part, but then I also just enjoyed the savvy realism that he brought to the courtroom. I just thought it was really pleasant.
Enjoyed that
it didn't feel dramatized.
Yeah,
because how many times did they go to the judge where there was an objection? Because first of all, Jimmy Stewart objected to every fucking thing that the TA or George Scott said. Every fucking thing.
The fucking objection
every
walk.
single time it went to the judge. I said, I don't know what he's about to say.
Yeah.
And every time he responded, I said, I think he's right. You know,
well, we should say, let's put this out loud. The author of the book was Jimmy Stewart's character.
Yeah.
So he is.
But he was denied a lot. But he was sustained.
No, but just for the authenticity of I've never actually been in a courtroom of a trial of these stakes, so I don't know what's real or not when I watch television and movies. I guess they do fucking object that often. when they're trying to work a strategy, it's all about that. Yeah. I loved it, man. What was that one line where the judge said to one of the early God, what are they called? Fucking person who's called up to
witnesses.
Witness,
yeah.
He says you don't make the jokes. Leave the funny remark. The lawyers will make the funny remarks or something.
Oh yeah. The way he said that was so good.
Wonderful little deprecating remark about we all know what these assholes are doing. It's all language. Yeah. They're getting up there. They're trying to spin it. We know what they're doing. Let's let them make us laugh. Anyway.
Can I say my favorite character in the entire... First of all, there were ADR issues. There was some weird cutting and stuff. So, whatever. But my favorite character of this whole fucking movie was the guy who stole all of the whiskey. And then did you steal it? He goes, yes.
Oh, no,
and he goes, you drank it all? It was expensive whiskey. And he goes, and I drank it all. And they go, you do realize this was a crime? He goes, yes. And he goes, so that means I have to prosecute you for it. And he goes, yes. And I tell you, it was worth it. The guy who just admits that
way to own his shit.
Expensive whiskey was worth it. Ooh, so fucking funny.
Yeah, he was good.
I love when they got into the nuance of the difference between being tight and being high.
Oh yeah, that was good.
That was fun.
Again, dude, the judge was so good. Yeah. You've got the guy from the Munsters and My Cousin Vinny. You've got other real life characters. You've got other judges at this point. He was so realistic. He wasn't an actor, even though obviously they had to do multiple takes and angles, so you have to quote unquote act. But it's just so refreshing. It just felt really real.
That thing built so well with just peppering little bits of evidence and laying seeds for later. When they finally got to the build up and reveal on the stand when he's interrogating the other woman, I laughed out loud when she dropped that on him. Just the look on his face. The satisfaction I felt was fucking palpable.
That very well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that moment alone might literally be... That moment alone might be the reason he became a star. Because, the rest of it, he's playing the smart guy, not the hardest thing in the world to play the smart guy who is having fun seeing how high the other guy can jump. That, to see the smart guy get made a fool out of in a close-up, that was a tight two-shot, right?
Yeah.
We were totally right in their faces.
They were pushing in, too. It was
yeah, I mean, I believed it. He was built into fuck. I also love the moment in the courtroom where they adjourned, and he's like, do you want me to read this piece from the law book? And George C's like, no, I don't think so. It means we're hooked. Could have been just a weird comedic line or something. I felt the emotion there. He was like, God damn it. But it didn't feel like a throwaway. It felt like, all right, let's dance. Let's dance, motherfucker. He was ready to go back in. It was good.
Yeah, that was good.
Do you think the assistant guy? Do you think they kind of
It was weird.
Do you think they nailed? it? Yeah. Okay.
The DA.
What was the
district attorney?
No. Well, okay, both. I mean, so him, but also
Parnell,
Jimmy Stewart's assistant, Parnell, who's great. I like Parnell. he kind of looks like a Grandpa Joe, but he's not.
I thought that was him. I thought that was
me
Grandpa
too.
Joe.
I thought it was Grandpa Joe, but it was actually 13, 15, whatever years too soon. Both of the assistants, the DA was just not a good actor. And I've said that a couple times already, but even the assistant, and then all of a sudden he goes to drive because he finds out that she's the daughter, and that's great. But at the same time, we didn't know what to do with him, so he just like gets into these car crashes, and the reason is he's actually staying up all night trying to work the case. But I feel like they misplayed it. I feel like the direction, it turns into he's a fuck up, and then it's like, oh no, he was actually working the case, and he got us this valuable bit of information. And I feel like the ends justified the means for the movie, but for a modern audience, it's kind of like, I feel like they didn't do that really well.
It kind of felt like we needed. It kind of felt like we needed Jimmy Stewart to be able to deliver that monologue to Guy's daughter. We all love something. I love fishing, and I love that guy. It kind of felt like we needed a character in there that he like really loved a little bit. I know what you're saying. I did find that guy charming, and I loved his acting. Was that one scene? It was very movie. When they hold on him and he keeps looking forward after Jimmy Stewart goes away, and then he's talking about something, and the female assistant is behind them, and he never looks back at her, and he just continues giving all his dialogue away. I loved his jury, God bless the jury monologue.
Yeah, that's good.
I thought that was really charming. Again, it felt like a movie. There were some moments where it pulled me out of that, but
Dave, you seem to like him, Dave, right? Like you seem to like that.
I enjoyed that character. And
all right.
Yeah.
How about fucking Murray Hamilton, the mayor from Jaws, as Alfonso Paquette? He was good, right? The bartender?
Yeah.
The bartender character?
Yeah.
I liked him a lot. That is a fucking throwaway part. That is just an information guy. And I thought, without trying to make us feel like we need to care about his perspective or anything, I thought he had a lot of swagger. I thought that was
he knew what the
casting.
power is. The power is I'm not telling you anything, and he made
but
that
also he also like I don't really have power. Maybe I can do this. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do.
The power
I'm sort
is
of
the
trying
actor.
to protect her.
That's how you stand out. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, and let's give it up for Mr. Ben Gazzara. This was his first, this was one of his bigger early film roles. He's a big stage actor. What did you think of him?
He's the guy he's the husband who probably.
Yes. So he's the Frederick Mannion. What did you guys think? Did you think he brought it? Did you like his good casting with the did he, didn't he? Was he good? Is he bad?
Mannion.
Yeah. Good casting with that.
Good casting.
And the way he plays it, like they tipped the scales several times.
Yes.
But they never went all the way towards tipping the coins out of the bucket. Like the scales just moved.
I think he did it right for the movie. I mean, it's hard to watch this movie and not think he's trying to play Jimmy Stewart. Like, it's hard to not watch it and think he actually went insane. Like, it seems pretty obvious that he knew what he was doing. But
that first scene between the two of them gives him permission to do that, right? When Jimmy's like, no, that's not a good enough reason.
Okay, fair enough.
Right? He tells him, like, come on, work with me here. Because he is slimy, right? Like, we're not supposed to like this guy, are we?
Yeah.
And the ending, whatever happens at the end, like, he's still kind of slimy. And he's still
that was a very Primal Fear ending.
Yeah.
Very much. Right?
that was, with the shoe and for sure.
Great last image. Again, very movie, but a great last image. I don't know if you did away with something like that nowadays. Hang the stiletto over the trash bin, push in, black. Like, that's very stylized.
And the trash bin's filled up to the brim. And also, we forget that they lived in a fucking trailer. It is just, it's funny, but I'm not putting trailers down, but like this whole thing, there's such a class about the two of them. They feel, it just doesn't, a trailer park movie nowadays would not feel that way. They lived in a trailer. It's really wild if you think about it.
Dude, I've lived in a trailer in my lifetime.
No shame, but like if your trailer story would be different.
These people were super attractive people.
Mine was right on the beach
super attractive people of the town that were very successful and had all their teeth. It's just like, it's very...
Yeah. No, I thought
you're
it was
right.
really
Not
good.
everybody had all their teeth in this film.
I also really liked
Dentists are expensive. Ray shot.
Yes, they are. I made that comment. I'll wrap up by this. I made that comment by saying I felt like I was the jury. And I loved his restraint as a director. And it didn't feel, this was not a glamorized movie. That's got some balls to do that for a 2-hour, 40-minute film. You're just going to let the story play. Yeah. So my final statement on that is that the ultimate expression of that was that there were 0 shots of the jury's reactions.
Yeah.
I mean, 0. Sometimes they were in the background when the camera would move.
2 minutes to like certify the jury, and that's all the attention they fucking got.
Literally.
The crowd reactions were bad. The crowd reactions are bad too. The one guy says, like, all my pictures turn out, the guy that photographs, and all of a sudden there was a raucous laughter from the crowd, except you could see half the crowd in the shot and they weren't laughing. And so there were some weird, but the people on this side of
the room who were out of camera found it really fucking funny.
Really good. It was,
I'm with, no, I know, Dave, I know.
So my only real issue is the way they handled what happened to her, the rape, and I'm with you, Dave. I had trouble getting past it, so I'm curious if I'm just being naive. So that what we were talking about at the beginning. If you were never supposed to think it.
When we're hanging out in about 7 weeks or 9 weeks from now, when we're hanging out together, we can rewatch it in the screening room because I have it purchased. Dave, any final thoughts you want to say about the film before I wrap it up?
No, I think I've said everything.
I hope people see it, though. I feel like it's another one of those films where it's great.
Guys, did you see?
It's so good.
It is.
This has a 100% on Rotten Tomato.
Yeah, maybe it should have a 98.
100% on Rotten Tomato.
Dave, write a review. Write a review. Get verified and write a review.
Good stuff.
Yes,
Good
well, it has a 95 Metascore on 15 critics. So yeah, anyway.
After I finished my Apple rental, I just saw on the Apple TV, it just said 100 tomato.
No, you are right. No, you're right. 95 Metascore. But only 15 critics because there weren't that many papers back then of repute. So, all right. Well, I think that's a good place to wind it down. So let's go ahead, and Dave's going to spin the wheel here to see what we're going to talk about next week. But please go rent this movie, go watch it. I think it's worth the watch. Dave, you ready to spin this? John, you ready to guess what this is? What do you think it's going to be?
Sure. 2009.
Shit. No, we're going to stay old. I'm going to go, we just did 1970. I'm going to say 1944.
Here we go.
I'm going old. Let's see what we got. Spinning and spinning. I can't tell. 1989.
Oh, were we just
Taylor
there?
Swift?
We've looped and regenerated.
We've been around. We've been around.
I'm sure it's gone through the list by now.
We've been around. Well, I'm not going to sit here and Google movies or look up movies we've done in the past. We're going to wait until the end of our segment here, but we're going to tell you what we've been watching. Other movies we talked about. Other movies that we haven't talked about. What you've been watching? Dave, we'd like to start with you. What have you been watching? I got a piece so bad I can't make it. Dave, talk.
Well, all I saw was Project Hail Mary, so over to you.
No.
Yeah, good.
Fuck you, John.
Me? Oh, come on.
Yeah.
I'm caught up on Shrinking. I'm caught up on The Pit. I've been enjoying those. I watched all of Drive to Survive over the past several weeks on Netflix. So I watched one of the F1 Japan race, which was fun. This is the first time I've done that. Oh, goodness.
Who's
really,
hitting buttons?
Thank you very much for watching that. And then I also watched...
Jeff, are you hitting buttons while you're taking a piss?
I think he is. I finally watched Eternity, which was the A24 release this past year. Miles Teller, Liz Olsen, and what the fuck is that guy's name choice. From, he might be the next James Bond. He was in Masters of the Air. He was great. Sorry, I don't have the page in front of me. Callum Turner, maybe? It was good. It's
really? I'm going to turn Jeff's fucking panel off in a minute.
Right. He's gushing me saying it was good. Maybe he watched it too. And then I also
maybe he's
watched,
gushing because he's taking a piss.
Maybe he's literally gushing. I really enjoyed it. And I just watched it. It's a documentary on Netflix called "The Rise of the Red Hot Chili Peppers: Our Brother Hillel." I'm not even like a huge fan of theirs, but I do like them, and they were a big part of me growing up for sure. That sound and that band in general. It's just a really, really unique, cool documentary. The way they tell the story, the animation used, and the fucking vulnerability from the people in it is really. I was very touched. So anyway,
I have the same bass amp as Flea.
Awesome, dude. Honestly, Kiedis and Flea are so vulnerable in it in their interviews. It's
Keenan and Kel.
You're going to love it. I'm telling you, if anybody's even remotely aware of or interested in that band, you're probably going to really enjoy watching it. I give it 2 thumbs up.
Oh, Jeff, this is for misuse of the buttons.
Jeff, was that right? Is it Callum Turner?
That's what I haven't seen the movie. That's what it
is. Callum Turner. I was right. It is Callum Turner. And they were all very good.
I haven't seen Eternity, and I'm going to tell you why. To me, the funniest thing about the whole religious afterlife thing is it's like you get to see all the people you loved in the afterlife. And it's like, well, what if they don't want to see you? So that to me, like, I can't, that premise alone is like hard to watch. And, I'm sure they address it.
Have you tried being less difficult to live with?
It is
somehow Dave still has the most buzzes this week.
It is the part of the movie that I think is the hardest to get over. Just as a human being watching it, you're like, there's always going to be a part of you that's like, I don't know if I want to do eternity with myself or with anybody. It's a long fucking time. That's kind of the whole point.
We definitely, with our significant others, 100%. But it's the other people, the good place and stuff. And it's like, you know what? I thought I got my own good place. I didn't think I had to join somebody else's good place. Anyway, those are the big ones I watched.
It is worth watching. It's on Apple. You should watch it. Eternity. It is good.
I remember watching other things and saying, I don't need to write this down because I'm definitely going to remember. Did I say I finally watched Jurassic World Rebirth?
You texted us about it, and you mentioned it in passing throughout the episode. You did not tell us you watched it, though.
Was that the one where we suddenly got 65 messages from the Matt and Mark movie show in the same thread?
Oh, I don't remember. I don't remember.
those times, look,
that movie is perfectly fine. It's just, I spent most of the movie. So Scarlett Johansson says she doesn't want to go to the middle of the earth where the dinosaurs are roaming free. And then they say, what if we give you $10 million? And she says, okay, I'll go. And I spent most of the movie being like, what if they paid Scarlett Johansson $10 million? And so she was just literally being like, I don't want to do this movie. Here's $10 million. Okay, I'll do this movie. I spent most of the time thinking that. It was like the T-Rex scene was fun. There were a lot of good sequences, but it was like...
No, there's not.
At some point, I'll
at
some point I'll have to check out the rest of it. I've seen half and I turned it off.
We went to the movie theater and we saw it, and we all walked out and we were like, that is just...
The T-Rex thing was good until you think, wait a second, these 3 humans in an inflatable raft outran a T-Rex. Man, T-Rexes are not as cool as I thought they were. Like, it's
that
like,
also,
no, you
that
can't.
movie also, and I'm not saying this just to hate on it. It's an aesthetic thing that I'm saying more and more and more in big studio films where everybody looked perfect in every single shot. Like, perfect. Even if they're supposed to have a little sweat on their brow, it was perfect sweat, and everything else was perfect. Like, it just, I did not believe the authenticity of that
they wake up with the full beat of makeup. Yeah.
If you've got an ARRI large format camera on your shoot, skip final checks occasionally.
Yeah, fucking dirty it up. Dirty up the frame. Dave, you love nothing. Dave loves the phrase, they dirtied up the frame more than anything else.
Well, I meant dirty up the frame, not the actors, but yeah.
It's still Jurassic. It's still Jurassic. You still have fun going into that world.
I hope they learn their lesson of like, dinosaurs are cool. Don't say you created new dinosaurs. And so therefore it's basically just a random ass monster movie because they're not even dinosaurs anymore.
I'll bring this up again. I know I've mentioned this before, but we were all riding back from my brother and my wife, Elizabeth, and I. And Elizabeth said, I just thought it was so funny. She was like, why does Jurassic Park own dinosaurs? Why has no one else just ventured out with that genre? No one else has made dinosaur movies.
There's a movie called Dinosaur.
65 million.
Yes, that one Adam Driver film is the only time they've done it live action, where they've like
Year One, or no? There's another
10,000 BC.
The Land of the Lost remake, where Will Ferrell and Danny McBride goes, I owe you one, man. I'll do anything for you. And Will Ferrell goes, well, can you fight this T-Rex for me? And he goes, I didn't think you would call in the favor so soon, but like after today, I'll do whatever you want. It's the dumbest fucking movie, but it
does feel like there might be some other ideas.
Fights a T-Rex.
I think they might be overly bound to the park You know what I mean? Like the notion of this story that is, we're always wrapped up in the same kind of plot devices. Honestly, I would like to see them break free. I wouldn't mind seeing some kick-ass dinosaur stories in the anyway.
That's why I like the end of the second one, where you think the movie's over and then the boat turns up in the city and you get a whole extra bit. Yeah.
Like truly the second one. Yeah.
A lot of people didn't like that, but I loved it.
No, when I was a kid going to sleep and I thought, I'm sleeping in a second floor window in New Jersey, I thought, but a T-Rex still could eat me.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it totally worked for me. Okay, if I forgot anything, I'll circle back to it. I've been watching Parenthood and I don't remember anything else. But let's go ahead and let's just take a 10-second break to listen to some Dasein while we talk about what movie from, what year are we doing?
89.
1989 that we're going to be talking about. Stay tuned, film fans. And we're back.
This time I'm back.
A lot of great movies from 1989. Some we haven't seen, some we have. We decided to go international with this. Dave, you excited? You want to announce our movie?
I'm excited to finally watch Cinema Paradiso because I've never seen it before.
Yes! I've seen it before, but I don't remember because I was a child. I can't wait to talk about it with you guys next time. It is available on Paramount Plus. Anything else you want to say before we head out, film fans?
No, that's great. Let's do it.
See you next time, film fans.
Peace.